Senator Tuberville with us now. Senator, appreciate you being here. Much to discuss with you today.
Thank you very much for having me on. Yep, there's a lot going on.
All right, let's talk first. We got some very important sports commentary and all that coming here in a second, but I do have to ask you because there's a lot of concern out there. The headlines are really all dominated right now by what the market's doing in response to Trump's Liberation Day and the tariffs. You are in the United States Senate, the august legislative body that it is. You have to oversee a lot of what's going on with the economy with your fellow senators. Are you worried? Is this all part of the plan? What do you tell to a lot of our Trump supporting audience that has a little bit of concern right now?
Well, everybody's a little concerned, but let me tell you this. It's called the Great Reset. I've been here 4 years, and I've never seen the destruction of our country so fast than what the Democrats did for the last 4 years, and then the 8 years before President Trump went in for 4 years. He got it back on track to some point. But we're in trouble. This whole country's in trouble, and we cannot continue to run the football up the middle like we've been doing it. We got to start throwing the ball a little bit. That's the analogy I've been putting on it. The game plan has changed. We're going to win this game, and we're going to do things different because if we stay the course of what we've been doing, $37 trillion in debt will be just a small part of what we'll be in, and then we'll end up being a socialist country with third world mentality of crime and all the things that are going on. We have got to do something different, and it will work because President Trump understands it. So does Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasurer, Howard Lutnick, Commerce Secretary. They've got a great plan. I'm looking forward to it working.
Senator Tuberville with us right now from Alabama. Appreciate you joining us. We're going to talk with Bruce Pearl actually a little bit later, scheduled to in the show. And I'll ask you about him in a sec. I think he's the AP Coach of the Year. Not a bad guy. Not a bad result there. But you have been sharing this story, and our audience has responded to it in a big way. A young woman was in a fencing competition, and she decided to take a knee rather than compete against a man who was winning many of these matches. You coached football. You've got a background in sports for a long time. Would you have ever believed that we would be in a position where one political party is saying men should be able to compete in women's sports, and the other one is just saying, hey, we think women's sports should just be for women, and that it's truly turned into a Democrat versus Republican issue?
It's unbelievable, and it's just a continuing motion of what the Democrats in this city of Washington, D.C. has done to the American dream. They're trying to destroy it. We're not going to allow that to happen. This young girl who was fencing at the University of Maryland, I think she was part of the university, but she was on the USA fencing team, refused to compete against a man. And she's exactly right. I mean, there's no business whatsoever for young boys or men to participate against girls or women. And you got to think about this. And President Trump's even said this. In a couple of years, we're getting ready to have the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. We'll be the laughingstock of the world if we can't get this back going the way it should be. I can remember watching the last Olympics and that boy or man boxing against that young lady.
Yep.
And it was a mismatch. So we got to get it done. I've had 3 bills on the floor. All 3 of them have not passed. Not one Democrat ever votes to keep men out of women's sports. It is a disaster. Now I've got no men in Olympic sports. And we'll put that on the floor, but they're going to fight against it. I don't understand. I ask them, what do you believe in, and what we believe in the rights of everybody. How about the rights for young girls and women? Because we're going to lose women's sports if we don't watch it.
Let me give you a little bit more detail for those of you out there who may not know. A young woman's name, Stephanie Turner. She said on Fox News this morning, I told them I was refusing to fence because this person is a man and I'm a woman and this is a women's tournament. The USA Fencing Organization then kicked her out of the tournament and has expelled her from being able to compete. But this is a very powerful moment. It's on video, her saying quite simply, I'm a woman and it's a women's tournament and I'm not going to compete against a man. And the fact that this is a political issue in any way is crazy. I coach Little League Baseball. Let me tell you, if somebody had shown up with a 16-year-old and tried to play in 12U, every parent in America would have said no. That's why we have age limits. This is also why we have men and women's sports. Buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's absolutely
you'd had parents all over you too. You'd have had parents all over you if you'd have done
Yes.
that.
No doubt. Would have won though.
Senator Tuberville, President Trump has taken a very strong posture on this, and specifically in the case of Maine, if we recall, the governor of Maine got into a little back and forth with him, and she said, I'll see you in court, which is generally not something you want to say to Trump, because this guy lives for the conflict. He loves to throw down when he thinks he needs to and when he thinks he's in the right. Now it turns out that it looks like Maine's trying to back off a little bit, but the federal funding is going to get cut to Maine if they continue down this pathway. I mean, do you support taking those kinds of actions to protect women in sports? What would you like to see done?
Everything that we possibly can do, we have to do it. It has started not at just the high school or college level. It's got to start out in elementary school. It's got to start out in the levels that we need young girls to be involved and enjoy participating in sports, to get them involved in it. It's made great leadership out of a lot of women over the years. I can remember when I first got into coaching, Title IX just started, and it opened up the avenues for many, many different sports that girls didn't have, softball, volleyball, track. It got them involved. It's built leadership around this country. And I'm telling you, what's going to happen, this transgender nonsense and the NIL at the same time is going to put Title IX and women's sports under, because NIL is taking money away. You can't survive without money in athletics. And now you got transgender boys that want to participate. So it's a double whammy on women and girls sports. And, it's absolutely a shame we're even having to talk about it.
We're talking with Senator Tommy Tuberville. I just mentioned Bruce Pearl. He's scheduled to join us in a bit. You're an Auburn guy, War Eagle for all of our Alabama and Auburn fans out there. You coached Auburn football, which has been a long-time big winner. You had a lot of success there. Auburn basketball has not. Bruce Pearl has them 2 wins away from the national championship. He was just named AP Coach of the Year. How big of a deal is that, and how hard are you rooting for Auburn this weekend?
Very well deserved. I live in Auburn. I play golf with Bruce all the time. I was at a function with him a couple of weeks ago. He has done an amazing job of that program. I remember I got there in '99. We're decent in basketball. Couldn't hardly sell any season tickets. Now you can't get a ticket. I live in that town, and I begged to get a ticket to get into a game. He has done one of the best jobs probably ever done in college athletics to get something turned around. But you got to give kudos to the entire SEC of the athletes now that they have in basketball all across, other than Kentucky. It used to be just Kentucky. Now they all can play basketball. And Alabama almost made the Final Four, and it was close. I thought they had one of the top 4 teams, but they didn't make it. But Auburn's in it. I'll be voting here tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't get to go to the game, but I'm looking forward to the game. And tell Bruce good luck for me. I talked to him yesterday, but he's getting a little bit uptight, but that's Bruce Pearl. I mean, he takes it very, very seriously.
Senator Tuberville, Clay twice this week had to go play golf. I had to be here trying to save the Republic and hold together America to the best of my ability, while my esteemed co-host was out there on the links, as one does. I don't know if you saw any video of him, but do you have any? You are a phenomenal coach. That is beyond question. Can you give him any coaching on his swing? Because some people are saying some things about my friend Clay about his golf swing, and I feel the need to defend him. What do we have here?
Well, most things start out with talent. I mean, you got to have talent and athletic ability. It's good that you can just play any sport, and whether you're good at it or not, it takes a lot of pressure off. It's good for exercise and all that, but it all starts with athletic ability. I think he's got some, but he needs to work on it. And again, it
not elite. Yeah, that's right, Coach. You can only it ain't the Jimmies and the X's and those all the time. It's the Jimmies and the Joes. And I don't have a lot of athletic ability here when it comes to golf. My swing does not look good. I deserve all the criticism.
Yeah. Well, you can't win a lot of games unless you have players.
That was not the inspiring locker room speech from Coach Tuberville that I was expecting. He's basically telling Clay that got to leave it to the pros. Well, raised some great money for charity earlier this week for Tuttle the Towers. And Senator Tuberville, really appreciate you being with us as always. Thanks for making the time.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Okay, look, I mean, we're talking about Clay's swing, but I got swung at yesterday. The pronunciation police
came
for me
this.
big time. Bigly pronunciation police lighting me up over how I pronounce the word that I'm now, I guess, supposed to say tournament. They say it's tournament. I say tournament, darn it, like tournigrip, although maybe it's tournigrip, actually, now that I think about it, which is what I use on my tennis racket. But no matter how you pronounce the word that begins with the T there, big weekend in sports with the Final Four in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Whether you're watching or listening to the games this Saturday or the championship game on Monday night, make sure you have the Prize Picks app downloaded on your phone. Clay, have you given out the necessary picks, or do we do you have, right? Or do we what picks are in play?
I gave out picks for the Elite Eight. I have not given out Final Four picks yet, so we may try to do that in the third hour, just coming up.
Okay, and I will tell you, it is very sad. Some people are saying very sad that Clay is ahead of me right now in the March Madness bracket. So it turns out knowledge of these teams does mean something, which is sad for me. But I'm hoping to catch up to him. But no matter what, see, even if you know as much about NCAA sports as I do, you can have a lot of fun with the Prize Picks app. And if you want to take Clay's expertise into account, he's going to give you those picks. But Prize Picks just makes it all a lot of fun, easy, fast withdrawal, safe and secure. It just makes watching the games more interesting, more entertaining. And you get your money in as quickly as 15 minutes. You can use your MasterCard, Visa, or Discover card for quick and easy deposits. Get your money quickly. Download the app today. Use my name, Buck, as your code to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, use code Buck to get $50 instantly. And if you want, you can always just bet against Clay's picks. And then if you're right, you can call into the show and be like, hey, guess what? And you can troll him. And that's always going to be fun. No matter what you want to do, use the Prize Picks app. Use promo code Buck. Prize Picks, run your game.